Hey there, it's EnderVerse. First of all, Happy New Year. This video was supposed to come out last year, but it turned out bigger than I had expected. In any case, here you go. Enjoy the last collection of 2025's mods of the month. First we have Creatures of Petrichor. This mod adds a bunch of cursed monsters and critters dwelling on the forest. Most of these creatures are hostile. They will attack on sight. However, a small number of them are neutral and harmless. These creatures have no utility as of now. However, they do serve as a nice enemy expansion as well as dropping some useful vanilla items too. So this mod is viable regardless. Wilder Flowers also has to do with the forest, only in a decorative way this time around. Strolling around the forest, you will come across flower paths that can be potted for garden aesthetics or even worn as a beautiful garland that will leave a trail of flowers wherever you go. Said garlands can also be used for house decoration unless you are feeling festive. I love this mod, especially the garlands, and it's available for the latest versions too, making it a perfect mod for vanilla plus mod packs. Up next we have Cryptic foes. Amongst the few monsters this mod adds, the Howlers are the most complete. These massive bats sleep deep in the caves. If you disrupt their sleep, you will be in for trouble. The Howlers can release a fast shockwave that paralyzes you in the spot, leaving you vulnerable. If you manage to kill the Howlers, you will get its membrane, and it's useful for a whole lot of things. For instance, you can prepare it into a cave salad, and this salad is so gas-filled, you will release a stunning burp. You can also make a monstrous horn that also shocks enemies ahead. The Screamer is a block that can also be crafted and it does the same thing, only this time around you can trigger it remotely through redstone and it knocks entities far away. So I can see plenty of uses for it. Finally we have the Silencing Blend. This one is my favorite as it can mute any annoying block. This can be a near saver if you have a loud XP farm nearby. This mod is 3 weeks old as of now, yet I can see a bright future for it. The author is also planning the addition of bosses. I'll be sure to give it a second try the moment that happens, so stick around my friend. Up next we have Lovecraft Beyond the Abyss. This mod adds lots of alternate dimensions, but the only complete one as of now is the Abyss. So let's dive into it. This place is as dark as it can get, and nothing here is friendly. Amongst the abominations I found, you could expect herds of small man-eating fish, huge bone serpents that shoot a light beam at you, massive anglerfish that disguise themselves as small fish while hiding in the sand, an aquatic demon fish that releases clouds of poison from its mouth, and so much more monsters you can encounter. There's also a stunning boss called Githrit the Stone Shark. It's a massively big fish that charges at you. I like how the author developed it so that there is a wreck sound and visual effects when the shark crashes into something. It's quite realistic and a nice detail when you see it the first time. Githrit is no joke, it can kill you with one shot. Your mission here is to simply survive it and run away. Although the Abyss is the most complete of all dimensions, there are still work in progress features. The submarines for instance could use lots of optimization regarding their controls. I just can't wait to see this project through. The plans for it are so exciting and there are so many people involved in it, so I hope it develops to completion. Best of luck to the developers. This mod adds early game alternatives to the tridents, those being the spears. The author worked extensively regarding the designs of these spears. They look magnificent and the integration here is also superb, with the spears dealing double the damage if thrown and even one-shooting mobs if maximally enchanted. To prevent the spears from entirely replacing the tridents, you are unable to enchant them with the Riptide, the Impaling, or the Channeling enchantment. This may sound like a mod inspired by the latest Mounts of Mayhem update, but it's not. The project was released way before said update was even an idea, so it will offer a very novel experience. Cinematic Cataclysm adds a beautiful camera work that triggers each time you summon a boss from the Cataclysm mod. Currently, only 5 bosses are covered, with Scylla and Ignis having the best entrances so far. This is a perfect mod. My only suggestion for the author is to crop out the player from the scene. This way said scene looks much cleaner and better. Next up we have a fun little mod called Ragdolls. This one, as the name implies, will display a corpse each time you kill a mob. Not all of the mobs are covered sadly, but if you go ahead and enable the PvP option, the players will too have Ragdolls. This mod is quite hilarious to use on public servers. Of course, it's not as good as the physics mod, but if you want a light and performance-friendly option for the Ragdolls, I fail to see a better option. Dragonforged is an impressive new mod about medieval fantasy. My favorite parts of this project were obviously the monsters, particularly the Cyclops. He spawns with a club and sometimes with a helmet too, and during battle he summons a bunch of demons and can slam you with the club. I was baffled by the look of the creatures here. Their movement is extremely fluid, and they feature crucifying textures and 3D models on top. There's also a whole new dimension to explore, and where you will actually find any of the new monsters and materials for crafting new armors and weapons. I love this mod. I'd only wish for the author to clean up the project from junky tools and weapons, and also eradicate the dependency on Epic Fight mod. As a final note, improve the impact of the attacks of some of these monsters, primarily the Cyclops. His attacks feel empty. Some shaking and block distraction can go a long way, my friend. Undermod is a world generation project adding unique new structures. My favorite part about this mod were the sewers. This place is filthy. You can see rats and parasites swimming on this green toxic water. There's even filth stacked up on these massive pipes. It's very innovative to have sewers underground, and the author managed to integrate them seamlessly into the caves. What's more, are underground forests as well as underground villages. Though, pardon my sloppiness, I couldn't find the latter, but they do exist nonetheless. Finally, I'd like to talk about the meteor craters. This site is very impressive. The terrain around the meteor is devastated and pushed back. My only suggestion is for the trees and the mineshafts to be erected as well. Right now, they confusingly remain standing. This is an awesome mod in both scale and playability, a rare combination for massive world generation mods like this one. Boss Checklist is a must-have project for massive mod packs with plenty of bosses. This checklist that you don't have to craft and may add will list every single boss within the mod pack. It will also list their drops, as well as the location and a nice 3D icon on top. As a mod pack developer, you can also tweak it so that the boss's appearance are hidden for more excitement, along with plenty other things to tweak on or off if you wish. Currently, the mod supports over 150 bosses, so no matter what kind of boss fight mod you have, chances are there is a log of it on the checklist. So happy hunting! Crop creatures are tiny mobs that can be enlivened using the Lost Souls item. From there you can either tame it and put it on your farm, or let it wander and screw about in the woods. This mod is good. I especially like the art style, and it kinda reminds me of the Straw Golem mod if you remember that one. Myths and Legends is a mod I showcased a while ago. Ever since then, the project received new updates, adding new factions and stronger bosses as well. I respect how the authors outdone themselves relative to the initial release. These aren't Cataclysm level bosses and monsters, but they offer an enjoyable fight, great quality, and special new items as drops. This is hands down one of the best enemy expansion mods you can add to your mod pack, so be sure to give it a try. Ecological Replenishment is a new project about prehistoric creatures. As you can see, these creatures feature one of the best animations and models I've ever seen in a while. They are also useful and not just for show. You can tame some of them through hatching their eggs, and the process can take up to an hour, after which you'll be able to ride and armor up your own dinosaur. The extremely detailed models of these creatures is definitely a plus. Sure, it's not the most vanilla friendly appearance, but for me personally, I wouldn't mind it, especially with how useful these creatures are in-game. Paving the Way is a mod adding more path variants to the game. The author has also made it so that tough blocks require pickaxes to be dug into paths. Having more path variants can do wonders for building, as builders can now further unite their structures, color patterns, and building styles as well. Raxiores of Raxiore has received a new update, adding new dinosaurs as well as improving existing ones. The highlight here is no doubt the Spinosaurus. Opposite to many other dinosaurs, this guy can swim pretty well, so he will chase you anywhere until you are dead. Luckily you can tame him with salmons, after which you can ride and fight with him. The other new dinosaurs are equally exciting, and you can also tame some of them, most notably the Tyrannosaurus, a massive carnivore with an explosive roar. I've been waiting for this update for over a year now, so you could only imagine my excitement when I finally saw it released. Mining Master is a mod that completely overhauls enchanting on Minecraft. Instead of the conventional method, you now have to mine certain types of ores, and these ores will give different enchantments. The more of the same ore you add to a tool, the higher the level. There are even ores that add completely new enchantments, and also the ability to forge ultimate tools through mixing different ores together. Same applies to the armors as well. I was first introduced to this mod when I was playing the Fantasia mod pack, and it struck me as a more enjoyable and less arbitrary method of enchanting your tool, so give it a try if you think that too. Hellgunners add the firearms from the game Helldivers 2. The author did an excellent job modeling and animating these guns. Their impact is also quite similar to said game. On top of that, there are also supply guns that trigger the fall of an airdrop carrying some of these guns. A while ago I played a mod called Crafted Democracy, which covers a lot more content from said game, but I have to admit the guns here are just better. It's a shame both mods can't be played together due to version constraints, but once one of them port or backport, I would absolutely recommend you guys mix the two together. This mod adds an extra boss fight you can try after the Ender Dragon. Going through this portal, you will be teleported to plain space, where you will be fighting a cosmic jellyfish. The fight here is quite tough. It also relies on parkouring and attacks done on the right time rather than relying entirely on high HP and high damage. The visuals here are also spectacular, and due to the shading of this dimension, shaders are naturally incompatible. The jellyfish revives right after it dies the first time, coming back at you with more force, this time multiplying itself and widening its attacking range exponentially. Once fully defeated, the jellyfish drops cosmic raw materials that can be crafted into awesome new armors with high stats, as well as a new umbrella which gives you slow falling. This mod isn't entirely about this one boss. The author is planning lots of new bosses to be added, and I'll make sure to keep you friends up to date whenever that happens. Paranormal Pleistocene is a new biome with a dim and dark atmosphere. Nothing lives here. Well, nothing that isn't trying to kill you. You can expect to go against different kinds of skeleton abominations. There's also a mini-boss called the Necrosloth. No new attacks or anything special, but he is quite stronger than the rest, so be careful. The biome itself has different uses. The char can have suspicious variants that can be dug for treasures. There's also the amber, an item that can be used to trim your armors. The mod hasn't been updated in over a year, but I found it to be very underrated, so I decided to add it here nonetheless. After 3 years of being outdated, the Mutant More mod was finally ported over to 1.20.1. For you who don't recognize it, Mutant More is a mod that added lots of mutant variants of different hostile mobs on vanilla Minecraft. These bosses are extremely powerful and use a variety of attacks as well as inflicting new types of negative effects. Their models are also well made and the fluidity of their animations is impeccable. Upon defeat, you can obtain lots of new weapons and items, usually granting you the powers of the monsters you killed. With this mod support in 1.20.1, you can now have the Mutant More, the Mutant Monsters, and Mutant Archaeologer all in one mod pack. A couple of weeks ago, I announced Mods of the Year for 2025, and amongst the winners was Unusual Prehistory 2. This add-on, however, will allow the creatures of said mod to spawn naturally in the world instead of having to revive all of them through transmogrification. Playing the mod that way makes for a much more explorative and adventurous gameplay. And sure, reviving dinosaurs will always have a market of its own, but I'm glad now that both types of players have it their way. Next up we have a mod adding a cat Godzilla, predictably named Catzilla. To get this monster you will first need to find uranium, right click it with a pickaxe until it's fully exposed, then brush it up. You then tame a cat and feed it the uranium, upon which the cat will turn into a Catzilla and begin to wreak havoc on your world immediately. The process of taming this disastrous creature is through exploding a chain of TNTs around it, which should calm it enough for it to take a nap. After that, you feed it some more uranium, which will make it your pet. You can ride the Catzilla, command it to roar, or, my favorite part, make it shoot its laser beam which can kill pretty much anything ahead of you. You may even kill all the Catzillas and feed the remaining to your own Catzilla, upon which it will change its type. There are 5 different types and all of them feature different colors and textures. This mod has just been posted, so expect lots of bug fixes and different expansions coming pretty soon. AirRaid is an add-on to the immersive aircraft mod, which makes it so that raids can happen on air too. Those illager pilots are quite hard to defeat. If you go on and fight with them, expect to be shut down almost instantly. So having a firearm from the point blank mat is quite recommended. Also pack something strong like a warship. Fighting illagers on air is a special experience that I've never tried before, and the author here implemented it pretty well as the illagers can maneuver and shoot very accurately. This is a simple mod that allows you to toggle a certain texture pack on and off with the click of a button. I use it mainly when I want to swap texture packs that are incompatible with each other, which makes it easy to get a scene for each one without the hassle of finding and applying the pack individually. We've had such a feature for shaders for a very long time, so it's pleasant to see the same functionality on texture packs as well. Up next we have a mod about monster hunting, adding different monsters sleeping in their own nests. Fighting these monsters is quite tough, they can shoot you up or charge at you aggressively. Killing them however is quite rewarding, as you can get to craft new types of armors as well as new weapons too. Set gear isn't just strong but can also release the same attack of its initial monster. You may also come across peaceful creatures that can be made into pets. This cat for instance can dig up useful items for you and can be tamed with fish. I like the idea of this mod, but the implementation could use serious rework. The animations are bad, and the impact of the attack is underwhelming. I hope that the author works on both of these aspects, and that aside, it's an excellent mod. Valley makes it so that valleys originate from mountains and flow all the way to the oceans, making them quite realistic. This mod will stick out for people who enjoy realistic terrains, and as a matter of fact, this project was made by none other than the people behind the Terra mod, one of Minecraft's most realistic terrain generation mods of all time. Just a few days ago, I was hit with the good news that Alex's Maps has received an unofficial port to 1.21.1. This is a big deal. With Alex's Maps being playable in that version, we could expect better and more optimized mod packs as they will be running on a stable version as well as having all the good animals and animal interactions from the Alex's Maps. Add in Alex's Caves and we are pretty much set for a full transition to 1.21.1 as a mainstream version. Pavlovian dogs is a mod that makes your dogs a lot smarter. You can command them to do certain things through your voice, and if they do it right, you could reward them. This way they can learn this pattern. Teaching your dog the basics such as sitting, going here and there, as well as attacking other mobs takes lots of time and patience, but as time goes on, your dog grows smarter and less painful to command. This is what good use of AI looks like, though I have to admit it's not worth the $1,000 per ramstick. One of the last mods on the list is Barnyard Buddies. This mod adds new breeds of animals to the game. What struck me about this project is the new outlook and functionality of said breeds. They're not just sheep, horses or pigs with different models, they have special uses. Jacob's sheep, for instance, produce new types of wool that can be weaved into different decorative blocks, and the Clydesdale horse looks awesome and can be decorated with carpets. The mod also presents new types of blocks to enclose the animals and build your own barn. I trust that the author is developing different functionalities for the pigs and the chicken, as well as making new breeds for the cows. Best of luck, and I can't see what becomes of this mod. And finally, we have Animights. This mod adds 2 squires to fight by your side. There is a dog squire and a cat squire. To get them you simply need to use the great essence items on a normal wolf or a normal cat, after which you will turn into a squire. These squires aren't very strong, but they are durable, and you could make them even more durable through giving them armors. Even modded armors and weapons are supported as well. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, I recommend you go check out mods of the year 2025. I collected 25 of the best mods released throughout last year. Here it is if you'd like to check it out. Subscribe and turn on the bell if these videos proved useful for you. Now see ya in the next one, my friend.